We've got a free mini battle pass, multiple new mythics. Like, genuinely, this update goes so hard.
Genuinely, this update goes so hard. I am Couch Cupid. Let me all just take a minute, bow our heads, and be thankful that we have impeccable taste in video games.
So let's start off. As soon as I logged in, and as soon as many of you guys log in, you get some new styles.
And his monotoned enthusiasm, woof, he is locked in. A millionaire, but bro is locked in. But we're not. So let's get started.
But this is just the beginning, people.
Phil Spencer from Microsoft/Xbox has recently set the internet alight by suggesting that a lot of first-party Xbox exclusives are now going to become multi-platform, including Starfield and maybe some of the Gears series. More importantly, this has been 100% confirmed to go multi-platform, Switch included, and this is HiFi Rush. I reviewed it a year ago, and I want to put it out again because this meta game is something I feel is worth talking about. Didn't really cover it in the original review, and with it going multi-platform, this is something that everyone's going to look at. Great news there. Also put a vote out to my community about what game they would love to see over on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, and thank you so much for the incredible engagement. Over 100 votes, and HiFi Rush came out on top. I was just thinking about that Fortnite guy. I wonder what would happen if, like, one day he just decides to play Metal Gear Solid 5 on his stream instead of Fortnite. What would his audience do? And whether they play games recreationally away from the stream. I'd be so interested to hear if they have, actual taste. Yeah, but Coop, it's a really popular battle royale. I play Apex. That's a man's battle royale, alright? Take that one to the bank. Just get back to Phil quickly, because I want to look at his tweet. There's a big mystery announcement event coming up. He said next week. This was 3 days ago, I think. So it's all up in the air at the minute. Everyone is holding their breaths, including Xbox and Microsoft fans. 100% confirmation of HiFi Rush is excellent news though, and after a year and having this on my hard drive for that long and popping in and out of mid and late games, it's just been absolutely stellar. The bosses, the move sets, the increased capability that you get on the triggers, and of course the parry, which isn't introduced till hour 2. It's interesting that Starfield is second on that survey, and Gears also performed quite well. Horizon, not so much, but the Gears thing's really interesting because that on a PlayStation 5, obviously, it's phenomenal split screen and a really good single-player offline campaign, Helldivers 2. Also, Ori and the Blind Forest got a huge mention in the comments. I couldn't fit it on those survey or votes. You only get a set number of slots. I had to put Forza in because it is a huge Microsoft IP. That Forza Horizon 5 was a very strong open world driving game. I absolutely loved it, and the thought of it at high spec with that lovely haptic feedback is quite attractive. Also, Halo managed quite well. I did put Infinite on the survey, but I kind of meant all of the Halo back catalogue, and if you're into Game Pass, you'll know that there's a big anniversary edition that's got a whole bunch of them in the one place, and that would probably be a perfect direction. Again, phenomenal split screen on those early games. Got the original Japanese language on, obviously, and Peppa is such a gem as a sidekick. She's sassy, she's funny, she is really good as an ult weapon. She's the projectile fire, and later on you get enemies that've got shields around, you've got to just burst them. And the amount of times that I've got Devil May Cry vibes with doing a keepy uppy and slamming down and hitting a huge group and watching my combo meter and doing the timed hits. It's a game that really does make you smile. I also think it will do okay on the Switch, running at 720 and 30 frames per second, but it would still be an incredible handheld game. Its colours and feel and lack of bugs and impeccable launch does have that Nintendo angle with it. Is it just Western studios that peddle out unfinished crap now? I hope I've not noticed a pattern there. Japanese studio that's put out a game that doesn't work on launch lately. Can I have some suggestions in the comments? I can't off the top of my head think of one. Maybe Street Fighter 6, but that all got ironed out really quickly. Give me a shout. Every stage of every boss in this game is absolutely phenomenal. And her, look out mate, final phase is just hilarious. Who's this? What's this? Red tie, whiskey flask, talking about supernatural things, called Seb AAA. Very interesting Easter egg. And totally cool for Shinji whacking that one in.
オイルたくさん滑る。
まったくだ。このオイルは事件が滑り出したことを意味する。必ず真相を突き止めてやる。
Let's just talk about Starfield quickly. By far the lowest performing content on my channel, by a square mile. The channel does have a slight Sony bias, but that would explain the lack of clicks. But as I've said before, if a game's good, or if there's something I want to show you, I'm not going to let brand loyalty get in my way. I feel it's a benefit to everybody if I can point out something that A, you didn't know about Starfield, or B, point out something really cool, or something really bad. And this is the deal with Starfield. Up against its predecessor games, or the two pillars, Skyrim and Fallout 4, it is a vastly empty piece of software and it's really surface leveled. I feel there's a lot of room for improvement and I think Bethesda will inject that, but at the moment it's not one of the three pillars. I put a video together about whether it would be on a par with those previous mentioned games, and it just isn't. It is spectacular in areas and a jaw-dropping space travel game, but I think we all know that Bethesda are capable of a lot more when they're firing on all cylinders, and I think Phil and Microsoft maybe have put that studio and Todd under a lot of pressure to get it out ASAP, because we were at a cliff edge back then, I think, and they wanted Starfield to save the brand, and that just hasn't happened. I remember, and some of you high-ranking elders will also, when Sega made hardware. I actually nearly bought a Saturn. I went to HMV with like my paper round money and got the damn thing back at home, and the cables weren't Gen Z. I've just got no idea. This was when you didn't... Hold on. Keep it together, Coop. This was when there was a changeover with SCAR and RC, and you had to have the right damn TV to run a console. Now it's just, you know, one fits all, but it was devastating. I was nearly in tears. I had to go back to town. I lived in the middle of nowhere as a kid, and that was one arduous journey, taking that thing back into the shop and, you know, deleting all my dreams of my Sega Saturn gameplay. But it kind of worked out. I think I went for the PlayStation 1 instead. I'm pretty sure that was just coming out on the market afterwards. I imagine Xbox may go the same way if their financials are as bad as everybody's speculating, and tell me what I've missed on the exclusive front. There's bound to be something out there that's really good, maybe on the 360 area, that is probably worth rebooting up on your PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5. Got two quite big lined up videos coming out for just before the weekend and on the weekend, and one of them is top 10 games that I can't let go of, and I'd be so interested if you guys have got any of them. I've got video games that I bought 10 years ago that I still fire up and still love and still compete with loads of new stuff out there, so tell me what you just don't delete off your hard drive. Again, massive thanks for the engagement on that survey. It was a really good insight to see what my audience is looking for if this whole thing happens, and let's all just see what goes down at this last minute announcement meeting that Phil's called. I have been Couch Coop. I will see you down there.
We've got a free mini battle pass, multiple new mythics. Like, genuinely, this update goes so hard.
Bang, 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 bang. You could be the king, but watch the queen conquer.
I knew you were trouble the second I laid eyes on you.
Excuse me. I just have never heard this kind of music before.